5 to 6 foot size is the sweet spot for evergreen shrubs in the home landscape, especially for foundation plantings. They're tall enough to be a substantial backbone, but not too large that they dwarf your house and block all of your windows and the natural light. Let's take a look at some of these perfectly sized evergreen shrubs. There's a lot more available in this size than you might think. Many that even flower. My name is Amy, and over at prettypurpledoor.com, I help home gardeners design landscapes that are uniquely you. First up is October Magic Ruby Camellia. It grows in zones 7 through 9 in full sun to part sun, and it's 3 to 4 feet high by 4 to 5 feet wide. It's super easy to grow, and once established, it requires no maintenance. It has a unique upright, almost columnar shape, glossy green leaves, and bright pink flowers in the fall. Deer and disease resistant and heat and salt tolerant. This is a great shrub for your landscape if you can grow it. Next up is Bonanza Camellia. Again, zone 7 through 9, full sun to part sun or dappled shade, and it's 5 to 6 feet high and 5 to 6 feet wide. This shrub is fast growing and suitable for woodland areas and acidic soils. Dark green leaves with pink flowers in the fall. Planted in a place sheltered from cold winds, as the winds can be damaging to the flowers of the camellia. This shrub has a spreading habit, so its mature size is sometimes wider than it is tall. Next up is Dwarf Mountain Pine, also called Mugo Pine. This is very cold hardy. It grows in zones 2 to 8 in full sun, and it gets about 3 to 5 feet high and 6 to 10 feet wide. This is a short pine shrub with dense green needle-like foliage. It's extremely cold hardy, like I said, and very easy to care for. Deer and salt resistant and even drought tolerant once established. Next up is Sweet Tea Gardenia, zones 7 through 8 in full sun to part sun. It's 3 to 5 feet high and 3 to 5 feet wide. Gardenia has thick, dark foliage. It has big, fragrant white flowers, which bloom continuously throughout the entire summer. A little more high maintenance, this shrub needs regular watering and can be prone to insects and mildew. This is August Beauty Gardenia. It grows in zones 8 to 10 in full sun to part sun, 6 feet high by 4 feet wide. This evergreen shrub blooms with white flowers generously throughout the summer, just like the last one. It does fine in part sun, but the more sun it gets, the more flowers it will produce. August Beauty is a bit larger than Sweet Tea, and it does well in warmer zones up to 10. Up next is Valentine Pieris. And this grows in zones 6 through 8 in part sun. It's 5 to 7 feet high by 5 to 7 feet wide. It's often called Lily of the Valley. Slow growing, it has unique dangling red flower buds that open into pink blossoms during late winter and into early spring, so very early bloomer here. The new growth on this shrub has a fun bronzy tint to it, and it can provide year-round interest in texture and color. It also flowers and it grows in part shade, so a lot of really positive things about Valentine Pieris. Up next is Sunkissed Arborvitae, grows in zones 4 through 8 in full sun to part sun. It gets about 10 to 15 feet high, but only 4 to 5 feet wide. It's really pyramidal in shape like all other arborvitaes, and it grows best in full sun. It gets more yellow in the full sun, but it does do fine in part sun as well. The green leaves of the Sunkissed Arborvitae turn golden at the tips, and it really makes this shrub look like it's actually glowing in your landscape. Very, very pretty option. Up next is Manny Juniper, grows in zones 3 through 8 in full sun to part sun, 4 to 5 feet wide and 5 to 6 feet wide, so it does have a little bit more of a spreading habit where it gets wider than it is tall. It's a bushy dwarf conifer with a blue cast to its foliage and grayish-green berries. It's salt tolerant and one of the hardiest evergreens you can get. Grows all the way to zone 3, so any of you in the colder climates, this is a great option to try, and it has a little bit of a different feel to it, doesn't it? Up next is Dwarf Burford Holly, zones 7 through 9 in full sun to part sun. This gets about 4 to 6 feet high by 4 to 6 feet wide. It's a hardy shrub with glossy green leaves like all other hollies, and it gets red berries in the fall and winter, so you got extra winter interest there. Has a really high resistance to deer, rabbits, and insects. Hollies prefer well-drained soil with an acidic pH to it, so just keep that in mind and check this one out. Up next is Tottonii. This grows in zones 4 through 8 in full sun to part sun, gets about 3 to 4 feet high and 5 to 6 feet wide. It's really tough evergreen that can tolerate winter burn, summer heat, and a wide array of soil types, so very adaptable. Note that all parts of this plant are poisonous, as is the case with all yews, so keep your small children and your pets away from it and you should be fine. What's your favorite medium-sized evergreen? Leave it in the comments below if I missed it. And all of the links to the plants mentioned in this video are in the description below if you want to check them out or even purchase them online. And if you like this video, you would also like all of my other plant list videos, I'll leave a link to the playlist right here, and I'll see you over in the next video.